Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Drains to Wisdom and Wealth. My name is Tara, and today we are going to be doing our tiny experiment where I am making sure I try to track my expenses on a weekly basis to see if it's easier for me to reconcile my credit card, and if that belief is true, and if it's easier for me to stay on track. So here we go again. I put my face on the other side this time, so hopefully I won't be in any of the ways. Now, last time we worked together and tried to figure out how to get my file into Google Sheets. It's only been a week and I'm not sure that I remember. So let's do it again and see where we're at. So last time we were here, we paid these amounts, and we have a few transactions in and a few transactions that are pending. And this is a Canva, and then the other one is a driving exam thing I just did for my insurance. If you were on my live, you may have seen it. So it shows that we have $118.13. So these transactions start on the 12th. So let's go ahead and find our download transactions button. Nope. Is that it right here? Yes. So we're going to do CSV as the file, and then we're going to do custom date range. We're going to start from the 12th and then end today. And then we are going to hit done and export. We see it's been exported, and we're going to close this, I guess. And then we're going to go over to let's make this a little smaller. We're going to go over to our Google Sheet, and I'm going to add a page with the plus button right here. And I'm going to go to file. I believe it was import. An upload, browse, and today. 118 transactions. That makes sense. So that's today. And hit import data, and then close. Oh, open now. Do you see we did it? Ew, 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 ew. Okay. So I know it included the payments we had made, and we don't need those. So let's delete that column. Oh, I didn't need to delete that column. Let me undo that because I want to change that column to accounts, because this is how I do a pivot table to pull up the accounts that we want. So we're going to delete that. We're going to make this column into money by hitting the money symbol. Y'all know I love to make all the lines visible because it just helps me see everything. Where is my tables? Right here. Okay. I don't necessarily need all these dates, so I'm just going to hide this column right here, and I'm going to attempt to make this slightly bigger, hoping you guys can see a little better, and then we're going to open everything up. No? All right, we don't need the payments and the credits anymore. And then we're going to do just a quick sum, which is hitting this button and hitting the functions button, hit sum, and then select the categories that you want to sum and hit tab. So yes, we see there's 118.13 open, and we have all of our transactions at 118.13. So now we're just going to go through and look and see. I need the whole transaction date, blah, blah, blah. And look and see what we have here. Boom. In our description. So this first one here for $35.94, I know that it's the most recent. It is the probiotics. I bought a bigger supply, like a 60-day supply. So this is going to come out of health or medical, whatever I'm calling it. All I know is when you're making these, keep them all consistent. So don't go health and then do medical, because then they won't pivot table properly. Visible is ops. It's a part of the operating account. And then we have Amazon purchase for 2013. That was my savings challenge book for my winner. Shout out to Vicky. She won. I sent that off to her. And YouTube boss account that came out of. The next one for 1225 were those scratch off stickers, because I really wanted to try that since I mentioned the idea of turning your most basic savings challenging coloring book into a scratch off book. It worked. You can use it more than once. And so I did buy myself some scratch offs, and then I also bought myself like a pen holder for my A5. So that's what that was. And that's just going to come out of YouTube Boss. I'm learning that if I'm doing something that has to do with YouTube or sharing, that I can take it out of my paycheck. Also going to plan on taking out my subscriptions that are just YouTube related out of that paycheck as well. Slowly working through this. Okay. And then last but not least, we have another Amazon purchase. Amazon was real popping last week, and that's going to be coming out of Hold My Horses, HYH. And that is a gift for my friend Gina Renee. It was her birthday, and she actually had a list. So I picked a few things and sent them off to her house. So that should be everything. I believe all these accounts do have what they need to cover each thing. So let's just go ahead and create a pivot table. I'm going to highlight all of the columns. I don't even need this column. Hold on. I'm going to hide this column. We don't need the card number at all. Like, why? So we're going to select all these columns, and then I'm going to hit insert, pivot table, and then on the same existing sheet, and just create. What? Or no, never mind. That's not an existing sheet, new sheet. I keep forgetting. When I think new sheet, I think like it's going to be on a brand new place, which is not what I want. So insert pivot table, new sheet just means it's going to create a new sheet in here. And so on there, I want to call that pivot table 1 is fine. And I want to see the sum of each account. So in health, we're paying $35.95. Hold Your Horses is getting $24.81. Ops is getting $25. And YouTube Boss, we're taking $32.38 for a total. Now you can only make 3 payments at one time with Capital One. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to move this over a little bit. I guess we can make this slightly bigger if we can. Let's make this 14. That's big enough. I think y'all can see. So what we're going to do is move the Hold Your Horses money over into the operating account so we can make 3 payments that way. So let's move this out our way, and we are going to go to Capital One. And over in Hold Your Horses, you'll be able to see that over in Hold Your Horses, I put $30 in, and that was for January giving. So the gift money came out of giving, just so y'all know I'm not just making stuff up. Not that I think you think that I'm making stuff up. So from Hold Your Horses over to Tara's Major Keys, we're going to move over the $24.81 that needs to be paid. And that's for a B-Day gifts. Boom, review, 24, transfer, success. So that's done. And now the money for the $25 plus that should be in there. So let's go back to Bye Debt so we can make our 3 payments. So we're going to make 1 payment of $35.94. And that's going to come out of Health is Wealth. I always forget that I can't type here. Health is Wealth. And continue. I need to buy some more Zyrtec now that I'm thinking about it. Now on the due date, today's date, choose this date, submit. So $35.94. Thank you for your payment. And then you'll see the money change and go up. It's my favorite part. Okay. And then, so that has been paid. And then we have our payment from this plus the operating. So we're going to pay both of these, which is $49.81. So we're going to make a payment of $49.81, and that'll cover the health, the Hold Your Horses money, giving, and the operating account $25 for the visible bill. So $49.81 from Tara's Major Keys. That's where we want to pay it from, and we're going to pay it today. Submit. Thank you for your payment. And then we can make that green. And last but not least, we're going to be making our YouTube Boss payment. And that's for the Savings Challenge book. So let's go ahead and do that. And that was No, that's for the Savings Challenge book and the scratch off stuff. I was like, what? You see me like, why is not that much money? Okay. But there's 2 things coming out of that. And then we need to change this to YouTube Boss, which just happens to be right there. Okay. choose this account and we're going to pay for today, please. Submit. And thank you for your payment of $32.38, paying to buy by debt from YouTube Boss for the today's date and confirmation. Great. So we can also mark that one off in green. Now, the only other thing, and y'all know I love to double check stuff because I am who I am, is so we really don't need this anymore. So I just want to make sure that we have, that was me checking on a large transactions. And that was me right here, 118.13. So we want to make sure that 118.13 equals to all the payments that we got. Let me pull up my handy dandy calculator real quickly. And 49.81 plus 35.94 plus 32.38 is 118.13. So we have done it, guys. And we did it expeditiously that time. I feel like I remembered. I didn't know if I was going to. So I hope that you guys have been enjoying me tracking my expenses. It's definitely much quicker like this. This was this tiny experiment worked. This is what I wanted. This is how I wanted it to go. And definitely doing it weekly helps me remember. I still had to go back to my Amazon account and check for a few of these because I was like, girl, what did I buy? But could you imagine if I had waited till the middle of the month or if I had waited 2 weeks? I definitely wouldn't have remembered what was going on. So this is working out very well for me. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Let me know how's your expense tracking going for you so far in January. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the video. Hype me up. Hype me up if you have the opportunity and the privilege to do so. Thanks for watching. Remember, in order to be great, you've got to be grateful. I'm super duper grateful for you. Have a wonderful, blessed day. I love you. Mean it. Bye.